Hey, commissioners, just trying to get in first. Can you hear me? Oh, can you guys hear me?
Hey, Chairman
Yes.
Fletcher. Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
My camera is not.
Okay, I'm gonna let everyone in.
Awesome.
Okay.
Why is it not letting my camera?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. Happy holidays. We will get started momentarily. I'm double duty right now. Commissioner Lucio is not here, so I'm letting folks in. So just hold on for 1 minute, everyone. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, everyone is in. All right. Do we have Vice Chair Teray? Are you on? Okay, he's not on as of yet. Commissioner Rojas, can you or Commissioner Bukum, can you reach out to Vice Chairman Teray just to make sure he's not having any difficulty getting on?
Okay.
Thank you so much. So again, welcome everyone. We're going to go ahead and move forward with the meeting, call this meeting to order. The time is, there we go, is 6:47. First order of business is a quorum. Commissioner Lucio is not here today, so I'll go ahead and see if we have a quorum. 5A01.
Present.
Okay, 5A02. Okay, 5A03. 5A04.
Present.
5A05.
Present.
Okay. 5A06. 5A07. 5A08. Present. 5A09.
Present.
Okay, so we have a quorum with 5 commissioners present. And I believe waiting for Commissioner Teray to jump on as well. What I'm going to do is I want to move forward with the agenda. Next up is review of the minutes, review of the agenda. Commissioners, the agenda is before you. It was disseminated to the public as well. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda.
I'll put a motion forth to accept the presented agenda.
Okay, commissioners, a motion has been presented by Commissioner Rojas to accept the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Boone has seconded the motion. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, all those opposed say nay. Okay, any abstentions? All right, the ayes have it. Thank you very much for that. Okay, moving right along. We're gonna go down to commission business. First up is approval of the minutes from both our October 2023 meeting as well as our special meeting in November. Those minutes for those that may be new are always posted on our website. And so for public dissemination and review. So commissioners, I will accept a motion at this time to accept the approval of the minutes from both October and November. My apologies. That was Commissioner Lucio making sure everything was okay. So commissioners, again, I will entertain a motion to approve the October 2023 minutes, as well as a special meeting from November 2023.
I'll motion to approve the October 2023 minutes in addition to the special meeting minutes as well.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Rojas has made a motion to accept the October 2023 minutes, as well as the special meeting minutes from November 2023. Do I have a second?
Yes,
second.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have two folks seconding now. So Commissioners is live and well now. I'm glad to hear. So Commissioner Boston, I'll entertain your second motion. Now ready for the question. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay.
Aye.
Okay, great. All those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, the ayes have it. Thank you very much. Moving swiftly along, down to the treasurer's report. Commissioner Bukum, I will turn the floor over to you at this time.
Thank you, Chair Gordon Fletcher. Unfortunately for the treasurer's report, we don't have any recent transactions because we only just recently got access to our bank account, and then it was Thanksgiving and I've been sick this week. So my apologies. There's a couple of bills I need to pay, but I haven't had a chance since I've got access to the account. So that will be forthcoming.
Chairman Fletcher, I think you're muted.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Commissioner Ross. As I was saying, Commissioner Bukum, I know that you've been doing everything in your best efforts to move us forward and take care of everything needed as our new treasurer. So I look forward to the new year when I believe all of this will be behind us and we will move forward. So thank you for your work. I just want to make note of that.
Thank you.
No problem. Any questions for Commissioner Bukum that she may be able to answer at this time? Okay, seeing none, we're going to continue along with the agenda. Next is annual report actions. So I want everyone to know the commission this year, out of some recent years, has been a little bit more with newer commissioners. We've also lost some commissioners during the year as well. And so we as ANC 5A just need a little more time to put together a comprehensive annual report. For those that may not know, the annual report is where commissioners from each single member district just provide high-level updates, successes, things that were taken care of during the last year. And so because we have some commissioners that have left, it's slowing up the process to have a complete annual report. So the goal is for us, the expectation is for us to have our annual report completed by our January 24th ANC meeting. Also because of the fact that in December, we do not meet because of the holidays and those who recognize Christmas and other holidays during the month. So just to give a deeper explanation, a more detailed explanation regarding where we are with the annual report actions. Any questions around that? Okay, great. So moving right along down to commission action items. I want to go straight to actually our Faith United Church of Christ Hypothermia Community Agreement. Reason being is that our public safety chair is not with us this evening, Commissioner Cozart, and so I want to just continue moving along with the agenda and going to that discussion around the Hypothermia Community Agreement. And so I'm not sure if we have anyone from Faith United Church of Christ on the line, just to give updates as to where we are with that. And from there, I'll give my comments as well. Enrique, Mr. Cobham, are you on the line by any chance? Okay, well, I thought he was because I believe I let him in earlier. I'll just give some updates as to where we are. And President Williams from North Michigan Park Civic Association, you could please chime in if there's anything you believe I missed, as well as Commissioner Bukum. So for all, we have moved forward. Okay, there he is. I see him on jumping on now. Mr. Cobham, are you on? Thank you. Okay, great. Do you hear me, Enrique? I think you're on mute now.
Yes, I just got on.
Okay, great. Thank you. I know you just jumped on, but before I go and give my perspective, I just wanted to give you the floor, just to give an update for the entire community as to where we are, with the Faith United Church hypothermia shelter site.
Okay, well, basically, the quick update is that, well, is it an update from the beginning or right now where we are?
No, just right now where we are, and you can give, a quick 10-second,
Okay.
overview, but really primarily about where we are now.
Yeah, well, basically, we are starting with the well, we went through the whole process of connecting with the city so we could actually offer space for their hypothermia center, which they were looking for centers because of a change in the city with the rec centers not being available to them. Our center has not been added into the pool yet, but we expect it to be as the weather gets consistently colder. And basically, we are in discussions with the ANC regarding some understandings as to sort of like what happens or how we handle between the hours that the center is not active. The center is scheduled to be active between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. every day once it starts. The city is providing is doing the service of managing the unhoused as they stay there. They will have security around the building and inside the building. They have the processes of checking in the unhoused individuals as they come. And they will clean the place every day once they leave at the end of the day. The unhoused are expected to arrive by means of UPO transportation, and then they depart in the mornings by the same means. The city has been actively working with us closely to make sure that the center is appropriate. Once we found out that we met the standards, then we proceeded to do things to make sure the center was ready for them. They have all their equipment there already, cots and blankets, or the first set of blankets. And they have a food warmer, and they are supposed to be bringing a fridge for that. So that's basically where we are.
Thank you thank you very much for that. And so the only other update I want to give before I gave the floor to Vice Chairman Ture for a moment is that, just to reiterate what Mr. Cobham just stated, is that yes, we are in negotiations, high-level conversations around what's going to be within the shared agreement that represents both Faith United Church, ANC 5A, as well as North Michigan Park Civic Association. And so we want to respect the church's internal process of approval. And so that's where we are right now. We have placed some terms, some thoughts, ideas on paper, and that's going to be shared with the church. And from there, within the next coming days, weeks, we will hope to have a finalized agreement. We've also made sure to provide a call of action or request to volunteers from the community for anyone that wants to sit on this task force that lives within North Michigan Park. We believe that that's something that's very important. If you are outside of North Michigan Park, you will still be under consideration, but the goal is to have the task force that can be comprised of folks, residents of North Michigan Park. And so please be on the lookout for more updates around this. More than likely, I would pretty confidently say by our January meeting, we will have the agreement, at least some going towards finalization. So that's where we are. So I'll entertain any questions right now around this. And Vice Chair Toure, I'm going to give you the floor momentarily.
Are there any questions? Hello?
I have a question. Is that for the community?
Yeah,
Hello?
go ahead. Chairman
Yes.
Flush, are you still there? Go ahead and ask your question.
Are you referring to me, sir?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to question to the church. Was this already approved before they came to the community for that program to be done at the church? Then if it was, that's unfair to the community. You have your church in our community, and we respect you for that. But when you do things without the community's involvement, that's a little discouraging for a whole lot of us. I don't have a problem with a program that they're trying to put shelters in there. I did have a problem with it only being for women. I would have loved the kids out here, and some of the women may have kids. And it's my understanding that they're not going to allow kids in there. So I don't know what to say when you say it's only for women, and women might have kids, and they have to find another shelter. You did mention.
Hold on. You say you had a question. Let me answer the question because you're making a statement.
Okay, go ahead.
You're not asking a question. But go ahead and answer the question, Enrico.
Well, I asked you the question at first.
I know you did, but let him answer the question because you're making a statement after your question.
Okay.
Go ahead, Enrico, answer the question, please.
Yeah, basically this was a very quick moving process that took place at the end of the summer into September. And we asked the city if we needed to get any approvals prior to implementing the program. And they stated that we did not. So as soon as we got cleared from the city that the center or the space qualified to be put into the program, that's when we started to reach out to the community. Unfortunately, that happens in September, more towards the latter part of the month of September. We reached out to our ANC commissioner, we reached out to Ms. Carmen, and those are the two leaders that we spoke to and provided him the update at that time.
Thank you. Asked and answered. Next question.
Well, as I just mentioned ago.
Next question. That you can't. No comment. Next question to the next person.
Sir, are you referring to me or somebody else?
I'm referring to you, sir. You've
Okay,
asked the question. You asked the question. He answered. I want to move on to the next question. There are other people who have questions. You made a statement after your question, so we have to keep the agenda moving. I want to go to the next person asking a question.
Well, sir, I have concerns, and you're talking about questions to answer.
You can have your concerns after someone else have their hand raised.
Okay, go to someone else then, sir.
Right, that's what we want to do. Okay, next question. Hand raised. Next question. I have C. Lockett and Kiwi after that. C. Lockett.
You're asking me to continue what I was saying, sir?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, sir. Well, I
Because
would
no one
appreciate.
else is, no one else is saying anything. I'm seeing hands raised. I'm not seeing hands. I think hands raised, but
So,
one second.
P. Lockett is one of the hands that's raised.
Right.
That's
And there was a Kiwi. Okay.
I have some toothbrushes and toothpaste. My daughter works for a dental office and I would like to drop them off at Faith United Church.
Okay.
When would be a convenient time for that?
Enrique, can you answer that?
Okay, let me, actually, we are really not there fully in the daytime, so we'll have to coordinate. Can you, let me give you my cell number so we can coordinate one-on-one. Then I can come by and meet you.
Can you place that in the chat, please, for everyone to view?
I'm on my cell phone and I'm not as well versed on the cell phone. Let me see if I can find where the chat is.
Okay.
Okay, I found it.
Okay. Mr. Lockett, go ahead. You
Well,
can continue. I'm gonna give you a few minutes, and that's it.
say that again, sir.
Give you a few minutes, and then that's it, and we're gonna move on.
Okay. Now, my concern, as I asked the question earlier, is that if the government gave them the okay, why didn't the church make a big effort to put something out into the community to acknowledge to the community of what they plan to do at their church there for these women for the wintertime?
Enrique, can you answer that? Enrique, can you answer that question?
Sure.
We came to the North Michigan Park meeting in October and made a presentation.
And did you get a result from that, from the community, to agree with it or not?
Well, the process was not to come to the community to get approval, was to inform the community. And that's what we did.
So in other words, there was a disregard for the community to have input to say they did not want to accept that in their community.
No.
Okay.
It was not a disregard.
So what apparently Enrique is answering your questions, and so want to go on. Does anyone else have any other questions regarding Faith United and the hypothermia center? Anyone else?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I want to know, is this the policy throughout all of the wards that at any given time that you can just open this up, it's the same thing applied to all the wards in the city? Can the city just say, you can do this and you do not have to let your community know, you don't have to let them know until after the fact?
That's a good question. Do we have someone from the city representing the city online?
Okay. Commissioner, Vice Chairman Teray, just let you know I am back. So
okay.
Yep.
The question on the table, Commissioner Fletcher, from a constituent, was this a policy with the city that the city could open the shelter without the permission of the citizens? That's the question on the table. And then before you came on, I asked, was there someone on the city online?
So thank you very much, Vice Chairman Teray. Sometimes everyone, I have to jump off, or real quickly. So I appreciate Vice Chairman Teray taking over for a little bit, but I was hearing what was going on. So I'm glad I got back on before this conversation moved too far. To answer the question directly, the city messed up in terms of DHS, right? Let me say DHS did not go about this the proper way. DHS was supposed to come before the community, the ANC, which is a representative body, the governmental representative body for this part of Ward 5. And they should have notified us and therefore provide information to the community around what was proposed. And ANC 5A should have should have opined on it, approving, disapproving, by utilizing what we call our great weight. And so that was not done. DHS went directly to Faith United Church of Christ. And that's why we are kind of in this confusing situation where we are right now. So DHS and Faith United Church of Christ have already made an agreement for a temporary shelter. This is not a permanent shelter. This is temporary. And so now we're trying to do our best efforts to make sure that community members are both informed, they feel involved, while at the same time allowing Faith United Church of Christ to do what they contracted to do with DHS. So that's where we are right now. I hope that answered your question to some degree, if not in its entirety.
Well, Commissioner Fletcher.
Yes.
I get flyers from, I guess, Mr. Oliver and other people, even Carmen Williams. When something is happening with Faith United, with the food giveaway or something like that, we get that all information. I've yet to get information except for someone calling me to tell me about Faith United and the winter shelter they're going to have there. Like you said just now, someone dropped the ball. I don't know if it's government or Faith United who did not put a better effort into keeping the community informed. And just like the statement the lady made at the church that night, I don't want to look out my backyard, which I live right across the street from it, and watch women trolling up and down the street there.
And you know, Mr. Lockett, your feelings, your sentiments are heard. And I want you to know that in the presence of staff, and I believe the name is Anthony Newman from DHS, I said to him, this process was flawed. And this is not the first time that this has happened. But I told DHS, hopefully this will be the last time that DHS doesn't go about the process the correct way with ANC 5A. And so now we have to do our best efforts moving forward. Our best efforts include working on the shared agreement. And so I want everyone to know we will be transparent and let you know what's in the agreement once it gets to a point that the parties that make up the task force, especially Faith United Church of Christ, that has their own internal procedure, we approve it. But again, this task force is made up of representatives from North Michigan Park. You sent out communications asking for volunteers. So if you're interested in being a volunteer on the task force, send me an email. We will put you on the task force list and you'll be invited to the meeting where we discuss the contents of the agreement, because we don't want to have all of that discussion right here.
Okay. Well, Mr. Fletcher, Commissioner Fletcher, I talked to one of the ladies there about, I don't think 3 or 4 weeks ago, more knowing that this program was going to go in effect. And I offered to make a contribution to them, and I've yet to receive information back from them. Okay. I offered, since you're going to have women in there, I offered a contribution of a washer and dryer, stack them. So those ladies, if they were going to be there in the morning, if they could wash their clothes, something like that, I've yet to hear back from them.
Okay.
So that it tells me that the community involvement in things that's taking place with Faith United is not working the way it should be, even though the government has its flaws in what they did here. But it's just not getting the right information to the right people.
And the last thing I'll say on that, because I hear what you're saying again, Mr. Lockett, and others that feel similar, is that we have to continue to respect and come before the ANC. We have other conversations, but this is an opportunity for the entire community to come to these meetings, to flesh out concerns, to make sure we all are on the same page as best as possible. That's the opportunity before us. So what you said, Mr. Lockett, I believe I know Enrique, at least Mr. Coffin, Enrique is on the line right now, which means that he's hearing that. So at least we can, the proper folks are hearing things from both sides.
And Enrique shared his phone number with the entire group in the chat.
So again, for newcomers and longtime residents, the ANC is an important place to have these discussions, if they're not being had other places. Okay. Enrique, yes.
Yeah, I just want to make a general comment. Was two comments. One is that, this is not a Faith United Church of Christ program. This is a city program. They have a winter plan. And if you have issues or comments or whatever, you can go to the winter plan to look at how that thing is set up. We are hosting the activity at our facility. So an example, if you mentioned, Mr. Lockett, that you have a washer dry, that's not part of the program. Once they finish at 6, 7 a.m., they're leaving. They're not staying around to do other things, and we don't necessarily have space to do these other things. So there's an issue of what the program is, what our role is, and what can be done or what we can do. You follow? So we also, the other point is that we also noted that we wanted to form an advisory group that then there can be some ideas and discussion of things that can be done. Now, the advisory group, in theory, can be restricted to be one. I think it's anybody that has interest, everybody that had experience with on-house operations and the like of things that we can do. So we just want to get a group of individuals that will also help make this a program that blends in with the community rather than becomes a plight in the community.
Thank you. Carmen.
Yes, good evening, everyone. And so that everybody understands this, Faith United Church is the landlord. They just happen to house what's getting ready to happen in their building. And from my understanding in the meetings that we've had, Enrique, your church has not gone to any of the shelters to actually see how it's run. Which for me can be an issue, but we're going to work through it, and that's what the advisory board is going to do. We're, as a community, we're going to help the church become successful in this, but we're also here to help protect the community. So as a landlord, I'm hoping that we can all be on the same pages. As an owner of a residence, you're required to take care of your property. We're going to hope that the church does the exact same thing. And that's all I have. Thank you.
I think that was very well said. Thank you for those words, President Williams. Thank you very much. And so again, I will leave this part of the conversation with, if you are interested, and we would love to have you as part of the task force, please send me an email, reach out to us through our website and let us know, because this is your way of being part of the continued solution and safety of our entire community. So with that being said, we're going to continue on with the agenda. We're going to move on to MPD. I don't want to be, not surprised, but I don't think we have anyone from MPD here, do we? And I will say, Carlos, Councilmember Parker's office, that was something that you and I and the council member said that we would work on, and I want to make sure that we're all holding each other accountable, including myself. And so I think we need to make sure that we do something about that, to make sure that we have a representative from MPD at our January meeting. So I know you'll probably talk more about that, Carlos, when you have the floor, but I just want to say that while we're on this agenda item. And so I want to go down to 6B, the mayor's office. Anthony Black, Mr. Black, one of the hardest working public servants in all the District of Columbia. I want to give you the floor. I had your theme music ready to go, but you're on mute. Can't hear you. Or is it just me? Okay, no, I can't hear you. Okay. Maybe you gotta sign off and sign back on. Try that. Okay. While we do that, Carlos, are you here?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yes, we can.
Perfect. Awesome. Can you see me?
Now we can hear you and see you.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So good evening, everyone. My name is Carlos McKnight. I am a constituent service coordinator for Councilmember Zachary Parker for Ward 5. And I have a few updates for you, but it will be very brief because we don't have many updates that we have this evening. On the issue of public safety, as many of you may know, we had our public safety call, our monthly public safety call this afternoon. It was at 3 o'clock. I hope that some of you might have joined for the call. For that call, we had Dr. Barbara Bazron, who is the director of the Department of Behavioral Health. We also were joined by the 5th District Commander, Sylvan Altieri, and then we were also joined by U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves, who prosecutes many of the adult cases in the district for our justice system. And so it was a conversation that the council member had with these three partners in the conversation around public safety in Ward 5 and in the city. And so today we heard and had questions answered from community members about specific incidents in the ward, but also about what are these agencies or partners doing to address the public safety issues that residents face and raise to us and across the city on a daily basis. So it was a very informative meeting. If you missed it, it is streaming on our YouTube page, which is, if you go on YouTube and type in Council Member Zachary Parker, it will be the most recent video there for you to be able to view. Also, I wanted to share with you, because it is the holiday season, we are coming up for our holiday party. If you were there last year, it's going to be a wonderful time again this year. And so we would love for you all to come out. This year, our holiday party will be on December the 14th, 2023 from 6 to 8:30 p.m. It will be at City State Brewing Company at 705 Edgewood Street Northeast. So please come out, chat with the council member, chat with the staff, also meet fellow Ward 5 neighbors, and have a wonderful time during this holiday season. And so we invite you all to come to that. Again, it's going to be on December the 14th at 6 p.m. at City State Brewery at 705 Edgewood Street Northeast. Those are all the updates that I have for you all this evening. And so if anyone has any questions, I will turn it over to the chair to entertain.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Carlos. And Carlos, I want to make sure, did you catch what I said earlier around working with you in your office, Councilmember Parker, about making sure we get somebody from MPD at our meeting in January? Did you hear that?
Sorry, I think I stepped away when you were saying about that.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, because I know normally something like that, I know if I said it, you would have responded. So the fact that you didn't allude to it made me think you didn't hear it.
Thank you for bringing it back. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's, remember, I think recently, sometime last month, Councilmember Parker had a safety walk in North Michigan Park, and we talked about the importance of having MPD at our ANC meetings, maybe not every month, because we understand the lack of staff, the need to be out there in the community, but every other month or so is a cadence that we talked about. And so I don't think we've seen an MPD officer here yet. So I would like to work with you and Councilmember Parker to ensure that we have MPD representation at our January ANC meeting.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that they've been continuously trying to push that Sector 2 meeting. But I do understand the frustration of wanting to have them here at the ANC meeting.
Yeah,
So.
at least every once in a while, because
Right.
everyone doesn't go to different meetings. There are folks that just come to the ANC meeting, and this is, an important meeting. So thank you for your support with that.
No problem.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna try and go back to Anthony. I'm gonna see if you're on mute now. You want to try? You there, Anthony? Still can't hear you. Okay. Okay, no worries. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. All right, let me well continue to try. And what I'll do now is I'll move on with the agenda, and if you can come back on, just let me know. Perfect. All right, so now we're gonna go down to reports and presentations. I want to turn the floor over to Commissioner Rojas, ANC 5804. You have the floor.
Thanks, Chairman Fletcher. So a few months ago, the Catholic University team came to me about a problem that they're increasing enrollment by a lot. This year was one of the highest enrollment numbers, and they're planning on growing and expanding a lot, as you guys have seen with some of the construction that's been taking place in development in the area, such as the Conway School of Nursing. And one of the things that the housing team came to me was the need for increased housing, especially over the next few years. And then basically one of the main things that they did was, in the past, the university had modular housing that was specifically built in an area that students usually liked a lot. A lot of students tended to enjoy it, was my understanding of it. And they took it away about 7 or 8 years ago. And then now with the increased enrollment, the teams basically needs to get a zoning amendment. They have a zoning hearing set for January. And so I brought them on today. They're going to do a quick 5-10 minute presentation just on the project, the needs that it serves, and also what they need from the commission as well. So I believe there's a few members from that team on today. So if you guys want to start the presentation, that'd be great.
I'm going to share my screen. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah, let me give you co-host capabilities. Okay. Are you able to? Okay, great.
Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So good evening. Thank you for that introduction, Commissioner Rojas, and good evening, Chairman Fletcher, commissioners, and community members. Thank you very much for having us on your agenda here tonight to consider our temporary modular student housing project at the Catholic University of America. My name is Deborah Nada Rodriguez, and I'm the AVP for Facilities and University Architect on campus. As Diego mentioned, in order to satisfy a recent rising trend in our undergraduate enrollment, we need to provide near-term temporary solutions in order to house additional students on campus. We are seeking your support for processing and approval under the terms of our 2012 Campus Master Plan zoning order for the construction of temporary modular student housing on our main campus near Curley and Aquinas Halls. It's right about in the middle of our main campus. You can see on the map, we have the metro tracks along this side, Michigan Avenue, Harewood Road, Taylor Street, and our North Campus where the athletic facilities are, and our main campus where our residential and academic buildings are. From 1999 to 2014, this proposed site was home to an earlier complex of temporary housing units that Commissioner Rojas mentioned. The complex was removed when the housing demand was satisfied by Opus Hall, which opened in 2009, and off-campus options in the Moreau Street Market vicinity. In 2020, the university presented to you a project to construct a new permanent residence hall adjacent to Opus. That zoning order was approved. However, our design was halted in 2020 due to the pandemic. We recently had the zoning order approval extended, but our ability to finance the permanent residence hall at this point is currently challenged by conditions in the financial and construction marketplace. Therefore, we need to proceed as quickly as possible with some interim strategies, such as the modular housing currently in front of you. The prefabricated complex is comprised of a combination of 19 two-bedroom, 4-student modular units, plus 2 units of 12 bedrooms. They're more traditional double-loaded corridor style with community baths that would house approximately 125 students. We intend that the units are arranged as a village with open space, walking paths, porches, and gable roofs. The site is nestled in the center of our campus near the university's community garden and not far from Garvey Hall, our new dining hall. The previous Curly Court was on this same site, so the utilities still remain and could easily be modified to serve this new complex. The modular units, we intend to look like a small village. We're working with different providers and working on options that will make the units be aesthetically pleasing, like a small village. And we have reviewed this with several stakeholders in the university, including Commissioner Rojas, and I think that we have some agreement on this is a good direction to go. The modular units have a durable lifespan of about 15 years, and the university could maximize our investment and their usefulness by meeting the near-term shortage of student housing due to the enrollment increases, and then proceed with the new construction of permanent residence hall, as well as renewing our existing housing stock on campus that requires significant renovation due to age. We expect that the duration of the new construction and the subsequent renovation of housing timeline would align well with the anticipated lifespan of the modular units and eventually completely replace them. So we have drafted a resolution for your consideration and hope that you can support this endeavor by the university for our hearing early next year with the Zoning Commission. I have other colleagues with me from the university if there are any questions from the commissioners or the community. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for that presentation, and really appreciate Commissioner Rojas for bringing you before us this evening. When is the hearing? Is there a date set for it next year?
Hi, this is Christine Roddy. I'm with Golston Stores, the Land Use Council,
Yes,
representing
yes.
the university. We do not yet have a date. We're meeting with the ANC as really one of the first steps that we're taking in this process. And we wanted to make sure that we met and heard your feedback prior to filing the application. So we have yet to file the application to receive the date, but we intend to do that shortly after this meeting.
Okay. Before I open the floor to my colleagues and to the community, one other thing I would just always want to stress is transportation or traffic concerns around development, especially in the Catholic University area. Bottleneck during rush hour, pickup and drop off times for children as well. This is a very intergenerational community. So you have folks that use all modes of transportation. So I just would ask you to think about that, as well as consider the numerous other developments going on in and around the neighborhood as well. And just traffic hazards, traffic issues, traffic mitigation, things such as that. I would just want to bring that to your attention early. And then any kind of parking issues as well. When you have construction, you have folks coming to do work, making sure that they're not parking in the communities, taking away parking spots from long-term residents, things of that nature as well will be some initial thoughts and concerns. And after commissioners, I'm not sure if any of you have any questions before I go to the community.
Well, I just have a quick comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
5806 and 505 are already receiving a lot of traffic from construction with the Yu Ying and Latin school. And even though Catholic University is having their development on Harewood Road, I can see sometime next year if this starts that there needs to be some sort of coordination with trucks, and I could just see a lot of traffic with trucks along Harewood and Taylor, because right now there's a heavy traffic with the trucks, and they're causing damage to the houses on Webster and some other homes along that area. And I'm just concerned that there's an impact with all of this development going on at the same time.
Beautiful.
So those are not uncommon concerns. We have them ourselves. One of the advantages of a modular approach is these are prefabricated off campus. So there's not a lot of daily work for all different trades to arrive at campus and in their work trucks to build a modular community like this. So we think this would have less impact. There'll be impact when they're delivered to site, but during the erection and the hookup to the utilities, it should be less than a more conventional construction project and much faster than the permanent construction you see going up around the city and around our site.
Thank you for that response. Commissioners, any other comments or questions?
I have one. When you say much faster, like, do you guys have a time frame of how long it would take to build, to build that model?
So the modular units are constructed in pieces in their factories. I think it's like maybe a 4-month turnaround, and then they're delivered to site. And so the delivery to site, we imagine, would take place over a week to 2-week time frame. And then they are erected on site for another month or so, 2 months. And finished off with our own furnishings at the tail end. So we are still exploring all of those timeframes with different vendors and different contractors that can help us with the utilities. But it is a much shorter time frame than a conventional build from ground construction. So possibly maybe 6 months time frame.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions or comments from commissioners? Okay, I'm gonna go to the community. I see Miss Uchenna Evans. Miss Evans, you have the floor.
Hi, good evening. My question, I have a few questions just about the process. And let me see if I can get my camera to work while I'm talking. So I think you all said that you have not filed the application yet. When do you think you're going to file? I think I heard Commissioner Rojas say that you all are seeking a map amendment. Is that correct? And why exactly a map amendment? And then also, is that the relief that you're seeking ANC support for? Is like specifically the request for a map amendment? And you all think that a hearing will be scheduled sometime in January, even though you haven't filed the application yet? Did I hear all of that correctly?
So again, this is Christine Roddy, and I'll answer this one. So we have not yet filed the application. We hope to do so as early as next week. And so I would expect that would put us at a hearing early next year, but not likely to be as early as January. Our application is seeking relief. It's a further processing application pursuant to our campus plan that was approved in 2012. So the campus plan kind of laid the grand scheme of what was anticipated for future development on the campus, and it always anticipated this area would be for student housing. And so this application is a further processing of that to lay out the specifics for that the student housing. We're also doing an amendment to the campus plan only because what the campus plan initially anticipated would be permanent student housing. And in this one, it's obviously of a temporary nature. So it's both an amendment to the 2012 campus plan to allow for temporary housing, and then a further processing to lay out the details of the housing.
Thank you. And what's the case number for the campus plan that you're referring to?
The campus plan was 12-01.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you for those questions. Next, recognize Mr. Lockett.
Yes. The only concern I have with that particular project is that being that a whole lot of the students are being out of towners is security, showing that these people will not be hurt by being here on campus because of the large volume of crime that DC is taking on now. That's the only thing I have about that. And the commissioner for Catholic University, can you give me a date of when the nurse school is going to open? And if so, is it possible for Catholic University to put out some type of advertisement to the other wards, 7, 8, and all those, so they're DC residents who probably would love to become nurses? That's it for me.
Well, I can answer the question about nursing. The construction is substantially complete at the end of the calendar year. So December 30th, 2023, Clark construction is substantially complete. So throughout the spring, we are testing and furnishing the building, and it will open to students for the fall semester. So next August 2024, the building will open. We anticipate that there will be a lot of outreach and publicity regarding that, the opening of the new nursing school. It's one of the reasons we feel that our enrollment is increasing in anticipation of that. The donor's goal for the nursing project was to double the number of nurses that the university can graduate. So that is a big catalyst to our enrollment growth projections, and another reason why we do need this interim measure of the temporary modular student housing.
But will they be reaching out to the residents of Washington, D.C. to let them know there's a nursing school here that's opening up for individuals who would like to pursue that career?
Yes, I'm sure that there will be a lot of outreach and publicity about this opening, and the communications plan or the communications department with Catholic University will be putting together that outreach plan over the next couple months, and I will make sure that they hear your request for that outreach.
Thank you.
And I would just like to add that you send information in addition to wherever else to the ANC, and hopefully you also come back and do another presentation to the ANC about this over time.
Happy to arrange that too.
Wonderful, wonderful. We like to see folks here as much as possible. It helps with that continued development of trust. Okay, so any other questions or comments?
No, hi, this is Tom Striegel. I'm with Catholic University too. I'm the Senior Director of Planning and Design. And to just address Mr. Lockett's comments about security, Debbie, if you go to the next slide, actually the next one. Okay, you'll see that this is really kind of in the heart of the campus, and the building just to the diagonally to the lower right, that's actually where our Office of the Department of Public Safety is located. So this new complex is in real close proximity to where our campus police are headquartered. So there'll be good, patrols around the neighborhood, and it'll be a very safe place to be, as well as we'll have security cameras in the complex.
And I'd like to comment on that too. I think one of the main reasons why I really like this idea is especially as enrollment increases, I think it's super important to provide as much on-campus housing as possible. I mean, I live on campus as a junior, and I think that's something very cool that Catholic does, is where you can have a 3-year housing option. And, especially as more students are coming to the school, I think the more students that are on campus that aren't, new to the city and wandering around super late at night. I know there's been issues with that, especially recently, like you mentioned, Mr. Lockett. So that's one of the main reasons why I really support this, is so that students can still have that 3-year housing option versus it moving to 2 years or 1-year housing option like some of the other schools do in Washington.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, well, if seeing none, thank you again so much for being here. What we want to do in terms of official support, I think it would be important for us to know when the hearing is going to be scheduled for. And then after that, we can make a determination as to when we will provide a letter of support. I'm thinking January, January, or at the latest our February meeting, we can do so. And it'll be good just to have this sent to us, this presentation, so the commissioners can digest it further before we move forward with any formal letter of support. So I think those will be the proper next steps at this time.
We can do that. Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, we look forward to seeing you back, and like you said, continue to build this relationship. We really appreciate it. Thank you again, Commissioner Rojas.
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Absolutely. Okay, great. I'm gonna continue moving along. Anthony, I guess try one more time.
I think I'm good.
You are good. You are good.
All right.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You have the floor.
Appreciate you, Chairman Fletcher. Good evening, ANC 5A. I'm your Ward 5 liaison, Anthony Black. It's truly a pleasure to be here. Just a couple events that I want to touch on. The 25th annual Senior Holiday Celebration, which will be Wednesday, December 13th, 10 a.m. at DC Armory. I will drop the RSVP information in the chat. That's just an event for the seniors for us to celebrate our seniors prior to Christmas. Also, we have the Community Resource Fair, and that's just to learn about the programs and services available to DC youth and families, which includes education, housing and tenant, mental and behavioral health, employment, public safety, financial literacy, and banking, health, and wellness. And that will be December 1st from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Rise Demonstration Center on Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. I can drop that address as well in the chat. Leaf season. We know 5A the leaves have already been collected, but there will be a follow-up, and they will issue the door tags the same way that they issued prior, just so that you can know when they're coming. Also, if you have missed leaf season, you can also put in a missed leaf collection in 311, and DPW will come pass and get those particular leaves in front of the house. That's not for the whole block, it's for in front of the house. So if you did miss leaf collection, you can always put in 311 miss leaf collection, and they will come and pick that up for you. Ward days. I will still continue to be in the ward on Tuesdays and Fridays. If there are any issues, concerns that need to be addressed, please feel free to reach out to me, contact me by phone, email, or whatever the case may be, so that I can definitely get out there and address those concerns. That's it on my end. I'm open for questions and concerns.
Any commissioners, any questions for Anthony? Okay. Mr. Lockett?
I'm sorry, I'm not a nuisance, okay? I'm just expressing myself the way I feel about my community. I like to tell Mr. Black to say thank you to the individuals who assured us that Miss Sally will still be our inspector here in Ward 5A. Thank you very much. Miss Sally does an outstanding job. I mean, she goes beyond what her job title is and to take care of us in our community. Whoever the person is, Mr. Black, could you tell him from a previous former commissioner? I said, thank you very much.
So, Mr. Lockett, based off of the communities decide to keep Miss Sally in the ward. I mean, we sat down with Director Spriggs and let him know exactly how the community feels, and he decided to keep Miss Sally in 5A. So, shout out to Director Spriggs, DPW, and I'll definitely let him know that you wanted to issue a thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments for Anthony? Okay, Anthony, thank you so much. As always, glad we were able to get you on. Appreciate your time as always. Okay, I'm going to continue moving along. You know, everyone, I'm not sure if we have some new folks that are on the call or on at this meeting, but typically our meetings last much longer. I guess it's an early Christmas present, early holiday present. And so, but what I want to do is I want to ask, are there any, I want to ask questions, if there are any questions just from the community overall. And so, Ms. Evans, I see you, Ms. Perkins, I see you as well. So you both have the floor, one at a time.
Hi, this is Carla Perkins. I'll go ahead. Has there been any word from the Attorney General with respect to the Providence purchase? The last I heard, the Attorney General was evaluating the purchase. Has there been any word on that?
I have not heard anything further. And Commissioner Lucio is not on the call at this time. But what I will do, if there's any commissioner that has any information around this, I'm not sure, Vice Chairman Torre, if you do. If not, what we'll do is I'll make sure that we have an update from regarding the Providence Hospital sale from Commissioner Lucio in January. And also I'll try and get somebody from the Attorney General's office here to give an update from the AG's perspective as well in January, but nothing more that I've heard, Ms. Perkins, not at this time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Evans, yes, you have the floor.
Hi, I just wondered if the ANC filed a response to UDC's post-hearing submission. So for everyone's benefit, there was a hearing by the Zoning Commission on UDC's proposed Lamont Ricks campus plan recently. And I thought the ANC had planned to file a response to UDC's post-hearing submission, but I don't see it in the case file.
Yeah, and Commissioner Malone, is that something that you're able to speak to? Do you know where we are with that, or what the situation is, Commissioner Malone?
So I know I am working now, Chairman Fletcher, to finish up the letter and get that letter over to everybody. I know we already had the agenda drafted for this week. So once I finish up that letter, I'm going to push it through and get everybody's comments. But I'm tracking Ms. Evans' concerns, and we'll make sure that I send those over to UDC once I have all the commissioners' feedback.
So because the Zoning Commission is meeting tomorrow, and my understanding is that they're planning to,
Make a
make a
decision.
decision tomorrow. And so at least that's my understanding. And so
Yes.
I thought the goal was to get it to the zoning commission before tomorrow.
And that was my understanding as well. I thought we voted in support to send the letter over.
Yes, so we've already sent that letter over. That was a week, not a week, I mean about a month ago. So that
Right.
letter is already sent over. What
Right.
we're talking about now is some additional comments after the UDC hearing. We need to get a follow-up letter because they did not address all the community concerns.
So, okay, as always, you know, I appreciate your tireless work, Ms. Evans. Do you know the time of the hearing tomorrow by any chance?
So it's not a hearing, it's the zoning commission's public meeting. It's at
Okay.
4 p.m.
Okay. So Commissioner Malone, let's see if you and I can touch base early tomorrow and at least let's get something submitted before the meeting at 4 p.m.
Yes, so I'm pretty much done with the letter. I can get the letter to you tonight and then we can move forward. I just wasn't sure whether or not we needed to re-vote on that letter. That was the caveat.
Well, what I will say in a public meeting here, this is a response to a letter that's already submitted. So I believe we're going to be okay here because we are responding to something that was already submitted. And we're just reiterating the points that were placed in the initial letter. We're not creating new points or anything like that either. We just want to, if I'm hearing correctly and I'm tracking, we want to make sure that all of our initial concerns and comments were properly heard.
Correct. Okay. So with that being said, Chairman, I'll get that over to you tonight and then we can touch base tomorrow and get it out via email first thing in the morning.
I'd like to see it as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send it to
share with
everybody.
everyone. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Share with everyone. Okay.
And does that work, Ms. Evans?
Yeah, I think that's probably fine. My understanding was the response was due yesterday, but I'm sure it's probably fine with the zoning commission if you all, send it tomorrow. Typically they just discuss the case and kind of say where they think that they're gonna land on the decision. It's not as if they're writing kind of a final order at this point, but I did send you all UDC's draft order. Like typically they ask the applicant to draft a proposed order. So you all saw UDC's draft order, which I think needs some work. And that's the reason why I'm bringing up the point that I think would be useful for the zoning commission to have the ANC's letter that says, can we address the points in the ANC's initial report a little more in the zoning commission's order. It's not as if the public can speak tomorrow during the public meeting. It's strictly a meeting among the zoning commission for them to discuss the case amongst themselves. The public can view the meeting, but it's not as if, like I said, but I think would be useful for the zoning commission to have that response to UDC's post-hearing submission and their draft order before the zoning commission meets tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Absolutely heard. Thank you very much. And we will make sure that gets done. So Commissioner Malone, I look forward to you sending that letter over to all of 5A tonight, as you said you would. So, okay. I think we're good to go there for now. Is there any other comments or concerns on this matter?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other comments or concerns? Any other community concerns? Mr. Lockett.
All right. Any information on the McDonald's? It's closing anytime soon for renovation.
Haven't heard any. No, not this time. And haven't heard any updates about that, or really about what's going on across the street either. I'll look into both and find something out before our next meeting, but nothing's come to me.
Any possibility that the ANC can draft a letter to the police department to try to get a camera at the intersection of Emerson and South Dakota Avenue? That is our commercial district, and a camera will be a big use to the police department as well as to us. Thank you.
Thank you. We will look into that matter, talk with the proper parties and see its viability. Absolutely. Any other? Oh, okay. It did reopen across. Okay, thank you. Anything else? Yes. Ms. Deb, yes, you have the floor.
Thanks. Just as a follow-up to Mr. Lockett's question about McDonald's, I received an alert that said they, I guess, applied for a building permit on November 23rd.
Oh, okay.
For fixture paving, some landscaping, some other things.
So last Tuesday, okay. Or last Thursday, okay. Okay, so I will look further into that too. Thank you very much. I guess we haven't heard any, I haven't gotten anything. I need to look at the ANC office to see if anything was sent there within the last couple of days or so, but thank you for that information. Anything else? Any other community concerns? Okay. Okay, well, I will entertain a motion for us to adjourn. And for those that are in my class, I'm gonna jump back over after and let's sign back on. But I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at this time.
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Bukum has made a motion for us to adjourn our November meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been seconded by Commissioner Boston. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you all for a very efficient meeting. Please, happy holidays. Be safe, everyone. Safety, 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 and enjoy the holidays in however way that means to you. Take care, and we will see you in January. There will be no December ANC meeting. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.